Snake Cinema Podcast, stepping in. Your one-stop review, let it sink in. Hip-hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around.
You're welcome, everybody, to another episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I am your host, Prince Elias, and today we have another great episode for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in each and every Saturday to support your fam. This episode and every episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando and TJ. Thank y'all for supporting the channel and always supporting your boy. Um, yeah, we're in July, y'all, and it's hot as fish grease, but we're gonna make it through. Uh, it's gonna be a great month, at least for me, because in a couple of weeks, my family and I will be on a cruise, and then when we get back to the cruise, then I gotta go back to work for the school system, and the teachers are gearing up. As soon as we get back off that boat, the teachers are gearing up for like PDs and getting the classrooms ready for when the students start the first full week in August. So much is happening. This month is flying by fast, but we gonna make it through it. Anyways, I guess I can acknowledge today. Happy 4th of July to those who celebrate. I don't because me and my people were not free. On Independence Day, we were still slaves, so I don't celebrate this holiday, but for those who ancestors were free, who do celebrate, I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all have fun. And please do not blow your fingers and toes up with these fireworks. Every year, somebody loses a piece of their body playing around with these damn fireworks or setting the house on fire or some shit like that. So please, above all else, be careful. And if you live in cities, urban areas, guns are not a substitute for fireworks, so please don't shoot guns because those bullets got to land somewhere. Even if you shoot it up in the sky, those bullets got to fall down and land somewhere. So be safe. Y'all have fun. Y'all pig out and eat your barbecues. I'm not going to yuck your yam. I'm not going to judge you for celebrating. It's just not my holiday. But happy 4th to y'all who were free. Let's see. Today's episode is going to be a good one. I got three topics I want to talk about. The BET Awards happened last Sunday. Um, TIERRA Whack dropped her mixtape or album on Juneteenth, but so much was happening that I missed it, so I had to play catch up to listen and review that. And so I'm super excited to talk about that. And then I stumble across after watching, because I went ahead and paid for the HBO Max account. Because HBO and all these other streaming services start being strict. So I can no longer bootleg off my sister's account. So um, I went ahead and got my HBO account. And after I watched House of the Dragons, I stumbled across a documentary that was very interesting. And I watched it and I want to talk about it. I want to discuss it. It's called The Cult of a Real Housewife or something like that. But we will talk about that a little bit later. But first, let's talk to the people in Chizzy Chats who are here this morning. Of course, we got first Eric B. No Rakim. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Yes, smash the like, hit the subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this out. I appreciate you, Eric. Always Tinkerville. ENT, good morning. Sponsors, Orlando and TJ. I know y'all on the road now. Y'all be safe out there. Brandon, Peace and Pets. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you, my boy. Another Dinkerville member. Tommy, Ewok, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. I hope y'all have a blessed and safe weekend. Okay, so last Sunday was a very epic Sunday. If you're like me, um, we had House of the Dragons, which we will talk about that when the season's over, because I tried reviewing TV shows episode by episodes, and that didn't do well. Not in the views, not in the clicks, and not in the engagement. So at the end, when House of Dragons season 3 is over, sometime in August, then me and ENT is gonna hop on here and review the entire season for y'all. So be on the lookout. But so far, 2 episodes have happened, and those 2 episodes have been bangers. So we'll see. We'll see. Because the Game of Thrones franchise have a knack of being so good and then dropping the ball. So hopefully this won't happen with the Dragons, but we'll see. But last Sunday we had House of Dragons, but before House of Dragons, the BET Awards happened, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I want to talk about it because I got a lot of thoughts on it. So that's going to be the first topic of today. Let me get my notes and everything together. So we had the BET Awards, and there were a couple of major awards given out. Lauren Hill got a Icon Award. Um, we had Tiana Taylor who got Icon of the Year award. There were multiple different Icon of the Year awards. Icon awards. There was like all time and something else. And it was just a great, great, dope show this year. There were a lot of performances, and we will get to that. But it was hosted by Drewski, the internet skit comedian, whatever you call him. I like Drewski. Drewski is dope. His skits are hilarious, but sometimes when it comes to these online creatives, these online comedians, sometimes their biggest strengths are the online space, like the TikToks of the world, the Instagram reels, the shorts, stuff like that. A lot of times their biggest strengths are the short term or small mediums. And it's kind of hard, at least over the years of me following, you know, entertainment. A lot of times, especially with YouTubers and stuff, oh my gosh, the transition from small internet fame to the big weeks where you're on primetime televisions, sometimes they don't translate well. Sometimes they flop. There's been a lot of YouTubers, back in the early days of YouTubers who hit it big. They were the biggest names out there, like the Mr. Beast of the worlds and stuff like that. But then when the TV studios try to hire them to be like commentators or hosts of things or things like that, it always end up flopping because they're just not that's not their realm, that's not their wheelhouse. But one thing I gotta say about Drewski, he hosting the BET Award scene seems effortlessly for him. He was able to transition from the internet funny to the big TV funny award shows like it was no tomorrow. I actually enjoyed his stuff. Did all his jokes land? No, but that's every award show because the comedians. The one thing about these award shows, because I watch the Oscars, the Emmys, all of them, the Golden Globes. One thing about these award shows is that the comedians themselves aren't the only ones writing the jokes. There are a group, a staff of writers who write the jokes throughout the whole show, especially when they're roasting other celebrities and stuff like that. So it's not just the host themselves writing the jokes, it's like a group of 10 people writing jokes. So do all the jokes land? No. Sometimes his jokes went a little too long. But for the most part, I would say 80 to 90% of his jokes landed. The bit with him and dang, let me pull my notes up because I wrote notes while I was watching Kiki Palmer. Oh my gosh, him and Kiki Palmer, because Kiki was like, I should have been the host this year. Like, why they pick you and stuff like that. And then she grabbed the mic and did the introduction to the next person. Like that was hilarious. Um, him he brought back the whole skit of the Pentecostal preacher, the pastor. That was hilarious. That hit. Um, and then there was one where he came out with Ice Cube, where he was imitating Jay-Z with the hair out, the fro out. Like that was hilarious. So Drewski did an excellent, excellent job hosting. Um, Even when some of his jokes didn't land, it was still pretty good. Still pretty dope. Let's see. Let's see. The performances. There were a lot of performances And I did go back and watch because again, I was watching the BET Awards and House of Dragons simultaneously at one point. The BET Awards, they because they were going on at the same time, so I did go back and forth between my phone and my tablet, watching the two. So some of the performances I had to watch the next day when they uploaded them to YouTube. But my favorite ones, Cardi B, Cardi, Cardi. Her on the motorcycle in the stripper pole was hilarious. Her bringing her when she got to the diss track against Bia, who was talking mess last year, and Cardi did a rebuttal diss track off her album. Um, when she brought out her BET Awards after saying the line, "Does she even have a BET Awards?" Like just bragging like that, and she brought out all her awards. That was that's That's the reason why that song is called Pretty and Petty. That song that was so petty and low down. That song was like, woo. One thing I gotta say, lover or hater, you don't want to beef with Cardi B. You do not. That woman is petty for real, and that was hilarious. Who else performed? Oh, Kaylani. Oh my gosh, Kaylani's performance. First of all, shout out to Jamie Foxx and his daughter for playing the music. Jamie Foxx did the piano while his daughter played the guitar while Kaylani sang Folded. Oh my gosh, that was a beautiful, beautiful performance. Her outfit was dope. Um, it was amazing. Let's see who else performed. Ti brought it back, brought Atlanta for real to the stage. He did Top Back, and then he did Let 'Em Know. And Ti, that's my guy. That's my guy. When it comes to Southern rappers, Ti is top five for me. Top five. Um, I think out of all Atlanta rappers is Outkast and Ti for me personally. And then the rest of my favorite Southern rappers are either Memphis or, somewhat, other places, but Texas, the Texas rappers. But yeah, Ti did the damn thing, even at his age. Him, um, he still got it. Performance wise on stage, stage presence, um, rapping on stage. His background dancers did amazing. Like Ti did the damn thing. So shout out to him. That performance was dope. And a lot of these performances are on YouTube for free. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch them. BT Network, they have it posted on YouTube and stuff. So and Brandon said Drewski funny as she. Yes, he is. Orlando said Kiki ate that up. Yes, she did. Let's see. The tribute they did to D'Angelo, the in memoriam, because D'Angelo passed away and stuff like that. Duran Bernard and everybody else who was a part of that. Oh my gosh, that tribute. I'm not even a big neo soul fan. I do like some of D'Angelo stuff. Um, but when I told you that shit almost had me in tears, like that was some beautiful performances. Everybody who was a part of that did a great job honoring him. Lizzo did a great Oh, let's talk about the Lauryn Hill tributes. Oh my gosh, everybody who came out for Lauryn Hill, um, Queen Latifah, Lizzo, Tierra Whack, Doechii. The category was Black women. I'm sorry. The category between the performances, the red carpet events, the looks, the outfits, the singing, the category was Black women for the BET Awards. Like they did, even Lauryn Hill's children who came out. Her daughter came out. Her daughter was like, "Look, mom, I'm only doing this for you." When she said that, I was dying laughing. Her kids, YG Marley and Zion Marley, they came out and performed. Like that was a beautiful. That was also a beautiful tribute that almost brought me to tears. Cause I'm a big Lauryn Hill fan. I love me some Lauryn Hill. I don't care how late she be at her concerts, getting on y'all nerves when she's on tour, being 5 hours. I love me some Lauryn Hill, but that was a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful tribute to her career, and she deserved all the things. It was a lot of people that came out and performed, and they all did a great job. It was not one whack performance, in my opinion. In my opinion, as far as performances go, there was nobody. Everybody brought their A game for it. Now let's talk about some of the winners. Let's see. I'm not gonna go through every category, but I will do the major categories. Shout out to the Clips. I think they won best duo or best rap. Um, I know Cardi B won best female hip hop. Kendrick won best male hip hop. Thomas won best male R&B. Kaylani won best female R&B. Oh, best group. The Clips won best group. They won that category, and best collaboration with Kendrick Lamar for Whips and Chains. Um, of course, Kendrick, he won best hip hop. Cardi B won best female. Video of the year, Kaylani won with Folded. Video director of the year was Tiana Taylor. Let's see, best new artist, Olivia Dean. She won best new artist, which I agree. There were a lot of great artists that came out last year, but hers was the best. Album of the year was Let God Sort 'Em Out by the Clips, which I'm not mad at that. Let's see, best actress, Tiana Taylor, rightfully so. She had a major season last year. Even though I wasn't a fan of the movie, she was the best part of that movie, and she deserved all the flowers that she's been getting. Of course, Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor for Sinners, obviously. And those were the major categories. I'm not gonna go to the rest of them. Jalen Brunson won Best Sportsman of the Year, which I thought was dope. But yeah, so that's about it on those, at least the major categories. Let's see. And then the big major honorees, like I said, Icon of the Year was Tiana Taylor. Living Legend Icon Award was for Lauryn Hill, rightfully so. The Ultimate Icon Award was Sylvia Rhone. So yeah, BET, I'm not gonna lie, BET this year, the category was Black women. Speaking of, let's look at the red carpet looks right quick. Nia Long, even at this age, she is still fine like wine. Flo Millie, oh my gosh. Told y'all the category was Black women. Oh, Landria. I don't know shit about these reality TV shows, but I love me some Landria. Every time I see her at the red carpets of any event, I'm like, yep. Like the category was just Black women, Black women, Black women. Don't she look good? Kelly Rowland, Coco Jones. They did their damn thing. Tim's. Oh my gosh. Tim's. Of course, I love this picture. Jenny Jackson with all her gay children. The joke was mother with all her kids. With Kaylani, Dustin, Duran, Tiana. Like that's just iconic to have a legend like Jenny Jackson. Mind you, Jenny Jackson is on tour right now. I think in Japan. She is on a worldwide tour and she stopped everything, hopped on a plane, and flew back to America just for the BET Awards. And then she went right back on tour right afterwards. So the fact that Janet Jackson came out to to introduce and honor Tiana Taylor with the Icon of the Year award, that says a lot. When you got a legend like Janet Jackson stopping her tour, getting on a plane, flying back to the US to do this one night, this one gig, and fly right back to go back on tour. That's how you know you special. That's how you know you good when you got a living legend as Janet Jackson, the mother of mothers, the queen of pop, hands down. To do all that for you, that's how you know you really are an icon of the year. So shout out to everybody who was nominated, honored, who won. BET did the damn thing. I think this is one of the best BET awards in a long time. In a very long time. This is one of the best ones. They really did their A game. And if losing the BET Hip Hop Awards and the other award shows that they had canceled, if lose because the Paramount takeover and everything, if losing those resulted in us getting a good, proper BET Awards, production wise, hosts, performances. I can deal with that sacrifice. We don't need the BET Hip Hop Awards. Like we don't need any of those extra awards they had. I think they had like three or four different awards, and they canceled everybody but the regular BET Awards when Paramount and the studios did that whole shakeup. But I will say this is one of the best ones in a long time. This award show is a 10 out of 10 for me, and I'm not even reviewing or rating award shows, but the 2026, I ain't mad at it. I actually enjoyed. It was very entertaining, and it was so black. It was so black, like perfect, perfect. The month of June, Juneteenth, all that, like it was just perfect. And the fact that there were so many queer artists, black queer artists, whether they were gay, lesbian, bi, panse, it didn't matter. The award show was taken over by black women and the black gays. It was beautiful, beautiful. A great celebration. So I had a great time. I love the BET Awards and I enjoyed this year. This year was one of my favorites, and I hope they continue this winning streak next moving forward. Sorry, y'all, my allergies is killing me. And I'm sitting outside and it's pollen. All right. Up next. Up next, I want to. She was at the award show and she performed. She did a great job honoring Lauren Hill. But let's talk about my one of my favorite rappers besides Rhapsody, and that is Tierra Whack. She is a hip hop artist, and she dropped an album. Well, she called it a mixtape, but in the days of streaming, it's an album called Wax Museum, and it is out now. She dropped it on Juneteenth, and I hate that I missed it when it first came out, but I'm happy I listened to it. It is 12 tracks, and when I tell you this is peak hip hop, male or female, it don't matter. This is peak hip hop. This is Tierra Whack, even though her name is Whack. Tierra Whack does not make whack songs. Argue with your mama. She does not make whack albums. This was the shits. This was an amazing, amazing album. It's super, super hip hop, super, super lyrical. Some songs are a lot of fun. If you actually listen to some of her lyrics, she's actually funny as hell. I like rappers who can be hip hop and be lyrical, but they can be funny. Like some of their lines they slip in, you like, I see what you did there. And Tierra Whack was one of those. She's one of those type of rappers. She can slip in a funny joke or a funny line in certain stuff, and you'd be like, shit, I get that, I get that. Yes, Orlando Black Excellence. Yes, if you talk about the BET Awards, yes, you're right. It was straight up Black Excellence. Um, but let's see. Uh, but yeah, like I said, it's just 12 tracks. The album or mixtape goes by fast. It's not a long listen, so you can listen to it riding in the car, clean the house, whatever, at the gym. But my favorite tracks that I really, really love is track number 6, Gotta. That's like the lyrics in that song, the chorus, the hook itself is my mantra. It's just it's so good. It's great. It's very affirmations, pretty much the type of song. It's like affirmations to yourself. Wax Paper is also a great a song. Totem is so like hip hop, backpack rap. It's a bop. I love Totem. Queen's Crown. Oh my gosh, King's Crown is dope. I love that. And Siren. So Wax Paper, Totem, Gotta, Siren. Those are my top 4 tracks out of this album. But this album is so so good, so hip hop. Um, And if this is just her mixtape, she's like, more music's coming soon. This is just a mixtape in quotations. I would hate to see what she comes out when she's ready for the full album. Because boy, oh boy, if this is what you blessed us with on Juneteenth, Tierra, the bitch is good. She's a good rapper. She's an amazing lyricist, amazing artist. Shit, it's just damn. Yeah, great work. I love it. I recommend it. Let's see. uh, um, so I will rate this album a 9 out of 10. And I think it's gonna be one of the contenders for best album of the year. One of the contenders, at least for me. Just my personal opinion, just my taste. Because like we all know, music, art in general, music, movies, TV show, all of this is subjective. What might be good for me might not be good for the next person. But for me, this is a great contender for album of the year for me, and I really enjoyed it. So I give this a 9 out of 10. TIERRA Wax Museum. Um, and Wax Museum Wax is spelled like her last name, WHACK Museum. Let's see. Eric said, listening while driving to get the spawn of Satan. Looking for you. I can't argue. Yeah. Be safe out there getting your evil seed. uh, let's see. So yeah, a very short review of that album or mixtape. I highly recommend checking out Wax Museum. Dope album. Okay, final topic I want to talk about, and this might go into a rant. I don't know, but I just got some thoughts. So, like I said earlier in the show, I got through watching House of Dragons, and I was like, well, let me stroll through the HBO app and see what else they got. And y'all know I love true crime documentaries, and I just got through watching a true crime documentary and reviewing it last show, about the woman who murdered somebody to steal their baby because she faked the pregnancy. That's on Netflix. Maternal Instinct. There it go. Maternal Instinct. So I was like, well, let me see what HBO got as far as true crime docs go. So I was strolling through and I saw a picture and a title that kind of threw me off. I was like, hmm. And that is called The Cult of the Real Housewife. And it's from TLC and it's on HBO. Now, with a title like that, I'm intrigued. Cause like I said, I love true crime. I definitely love listening about different cults out there in the world, different cult leaders who like trick people into doing the most dumbest things. Shout out to Brother Nature. If you know, you know. The Brother Nature cult, that documentary is crazy, but if you know, you know. Like that cult is crazy. The things he made them folks do, I don't get it. I try not to judge people who are victims of cults, but I don't get it. But anyways, with a title like that and a picture like that, I said I gotta watch this. So let me give you the plot synopsis right quick before we dive into this. So, Cult of a Real Housewife. The Cult of a Real Housewife is a three-part TLC docu-series investigating Real Housewife of Salt Lake City, Mary Cosby, and her church Faith Temple Pentecostal Church, exploring allegations of spiritual and financial misconduct and her controversial marriage to her former stepfather. We're going to talk about that in a second. The series features investigative journalists, ex congregants, and family members who speak out about the church's history, the leadership succession, and unsettling truth behind Cosby's public image. So, I haven't watched reality TV since probably before 2020 because it I just outgrew it. So I haven't watched, and I've never watched The Real Housewives. Never. That stuff is not for me. I'm not the demographic for that. I've never watched a single episode of any of The Real Housewives. I know they exist, And I know certain people who've gotten famous off of them because sometimes they just pop up in the news and shit like that. But I've never watched a single episode of any of the Real Housewives. And so watching this documentary, this is based off of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And one thing they did point out in the documentary is out of all the different cities, iterations of the Real Housewives, um, like Potomac or Atlanta, blah, 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 Salt Lake City is the most religious because half of the cast, if not most of the cast, are Mormon women housewives. And then you got Mary, who is Pentecostal, and then I think it's another woman who's a cast member who's of a different religion, but all of them are super, super religious. And so that's like the main focus, supposedly, according to this documentary, of that particular city's series of the Real Housewives. Um, and again, I don't watch the Real Housewives show, so I don't know, but I'm just going off of what I learned in the documentary. I watched it earlier this year, baby. That documentary was so crazy. She made me want to go watch the actual show. I know, right? Man, you ain't lying, Orlando. So anyways, first of all, let's break down the things that she was accused of, and then I have a little mini rant that I want to give that pertains to this. Okay, so People Magazine did this 10 bombshells from the Mary Crosby's Cult of a Real Housewife documentary. So I'm going to list some of these, not probably not all 10, but I'm going to list some of these things that we learned in this documentary. So her cousins claim that she had an affair with a former member, and that was talked about in the documentary, like a member who unfortunately did pass away. Um, he unfortunately passed away before, I think they said before that show or that episode that he was on even aired, but um there was rumors, or before he died he did confide in certain church members that the reason why he left the church, because he did leave the church before he died, and people were asking, where'd you go, why'd you leave, whatever, because you were such a faithful good member and you were so involved, like why'd you just disappear. And he admitted that they had an affair. He had an affair with her. Mind you, she's the pastor of the church and she's married. So that was, I think that reveal happened in episode 2 of this documentary because there's 3 episodes. Um, and I was like, yeah, sound about right. When you have corruption in any church, 9 times out of 10, affairs is a part of that corruption. Okay, so it says that she and her husband allegedly demanded money from their congregants, which there is no alleged. Someone, a whistleblower, and it was in the documentary, recorded on their phones her going ham, berating, talking bad to her congregation during the church service, calling them broke just because she didn't get a certain amount of money that she thought she was going to get. Or no, it was her birthday weekend. And a lot of churches, the congregants will give pastors like money and gifts and all this other stuff for their birthdays. And I guess what they gave her wasn't enough for her liking. And mind you, one member said he wrote her a check of $1,000. And so she's going, one person wrote her a check of $1,000. So she is going off at the Congress, calling them poor and lazy and all this other stuff, all because them motherfuckers did not give her the amount that she was expecting for her. But it was crazy. But yeah, and when they played the leak audio of her going off, for me personally, if I was a member of that church, I would have walked out. I would have yelled, fuck you. I don't care if we in the house of God. I would have yelled, fuck you. And I would have walked out. Um, Her husband allegedly did a lot of physical abuse of young children, particularly young boys at the church. Back, before he was her husband, and we're gonna get to that in a second. Uh, Mary, disfellowship. It was allegedly disfellowship from the church by her own grandmother before her grandmother died. That was a shocker, because she was being a troublemaker and acting out and stuff like that. Allegedly, because again, this church was once her grandmother's church. Her grandmother was the pastor of this church, and her grandmother was the leader of this church. But then when her grandmother died, then all of a sudden Mary took over. Well, allegedly, her grandmother never did leave her the church, never wanted her to be a part of the church. Because again, she got this fellowships, that's what they call in these religious circles. They kind of do that with Jehovah's Witness and the Mormons. They'll disfellowship you or whatever. And so the fact that she manipulated her way into being the pastor when she was never supposed to is crazy. Let's see. Okay, this is the biggest bombshell for me. For me, when Mary's grandmother passed away, Mary decided, yeah, I'm holding the best for last. Yep, you already know, Orlando. I'm holding the best for last. I'm not trying to. The biggest bombshell of this entire thing, what should have sparked red flags if I was a church member, if I was a member of this church, what would have sparked the biggest red flags and would have had me walking up out there was the simple fact that, okay, Mary's grandmother was the pastor of this church. Mary's grandmother passed away. According to Mary's grandmother, before she died, gave her blessing to marry her grandfather, her step grandfather. According to Mary and her step grandfather, the man who helped raise her, the man who watched her grow up, yes, he's not her biological grandfather, but still, it doesn't matter. The man who was married to her grandmother, according to them, the grandmother before she died gave her their blessing to get married once she passed away. And that's how Mary became the leader, the pastor of this church. Yeah, that right there, I would have walked out. I would have walked away, but for some reason, the congregants, the members stayed and just dealt with it. That right there should have been a red flag right there, one on one. But not only that, but it was at one point. I'm sorry, y'all, my allergies is kicking my tail. At one point, and this happened on the show, on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City show. Mary got on the show. She was talking to one of the other castmates, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, one of my members died. One of my members died, just tragically died last night. Got into a car wreck. And when the car flipped, she was ejected from the window seat, I mean the sunroof, and flew out and died to her death. Mind you, she said this in front of her castmates' children. They're sitting in the kitchen. So y'all know how reality TV shows are, where one member and another member, they're at each other's houses just talking, having a casual conversation. She's having this conversation with the other castmates in front of the castmates' young children. I think one was a teenager and one was like under 10. And one of the kids said, "Did she survive?" And she was like, "Nope, she's dead. So wear your seatbelts." Like, she made a joke about that on live, not live, but on national television. She made a joke about a member of her congregation dying in a tragic car accident, and then was like, "Wear your seatbelts, boys and girls." Like, yes, I'm flabbergasted. Like the audacity and the young lady who passed away, her father was in the documentary sharing the story, and I felt so bad for this man. I think I got a picture of him. Yeah, I felt so bad for this man. Like he said to watch that show and to see her make a joke about my daughter's death, he was like, Karma's gonna get her one day. Karma is gonna get her one day. And I was like, yeah, like that was foul. That was foul. So this documentary is wild. You got HBO Max, please go watch it because even the stuff I told y'all ain't enough. It ain't even reached the surface. Yes, just heartless. That's a psychopath, very much so. She is. But I will say this: out after watching the docuseries, I do have a little bit of a rant. What Mary was doing or is doing, I don't see as a cult. To me, that's just a regular degular church person, pastor. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. My mom was texting me. I had to answer that one question. But man, well, we need an update because I think she's still pastoring. I think so. Like that church is still going on. It ain't been shut down. But I will say this. I don't after watching that series and watching the allegations, yeah, everything was egregious, everything was crazy, everything is wild. But a lot of stuff that they were accusing her of doing as a quote unquote cult, every religious organization does that. Demanding money, kicking people out, disfellowshipping people if you don't follow their rules, um, affairs, being mean to people, having people pretty much quote unquote worshiping you as the word, as the spokesperson of God. That's every religion. That's the Mormons, that's the Christians, that's the Catholics, that's the Jehovah's Witness. If you're gonna call her a cult, you gotta call them all a cult because they all. If anything, this documentary should have called the mean girl of the Real Housewives, or the mean girl, or the narcissistic of the Real Housewives, or like Orlando said in the other comment, the psychopath of the Real Housewives. That's our perfect descriptions for her: psychopath, narcissist, mean girl. You can't call this a cult or what she's doing to her congregation or her church members if you don't do that for everybody else, especially Pentecostal. I grew up Pentecostal. Pentecostal is a lot of, they have a lot of different factions and different denominations. I grew up personally with Church of God in Christ, aka Kojic. Um, a lot of your favorite gospel artists or gospel Christian celebrities or gospel pastors, they're under Kojic. Kojic is like one of the biggest ones when it comes to Black Pentecostal. But they all, everything she's done besides marrying your stepfather, that's just weird. But everything else, that's not a cult. That's just every religion. Unless you want to call it, like me personally, I subscribe to every religion is a cult. That's just me. But a lot of people separate the two. Like they'll see Jim Jones as a cult, but don't see Pentecostal or any of these other Christians as a cult. They will see Heaven's Gate as a cult, but they won't see this as a cult. They can see a cult in the Nature Boy, the real Nature Boy, whatever, but they won't see a cult in this. To me, they're all the same, one the same. It's just one, some of them, like the Jim Jones of the world, results in everybody dying, and Pentecostal people don't die because they need that money to keep going. They don't kill everybody, but they're all the way they behave, the way their leaders act, the way the congregation are quote, you know, stricken the Kool-Aid of the leaders. They're all the same. They're all one and the same. So I just feel like the title cult, like her being a cult, no, it's just regular church. It's just regular religion. It's just Pentecostal. Like it's just and I that maybe because that's how I was raised that I don't know. I just feel like TLC and everybody else just over exaggerate the word cult. They just over exaggerate that claim. Is she a mean girl? Hell yeah. Is she narcissistic? Hell yeah. Is she a psychopath? Hell yeah. She's all those things. She's weird as fuck. But I just see what she do is what regular pastors do. That's what they do. This is the culture, which cult comes from. The word cult comes from. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Um, But for people to like try to label her, kind of like put her in the same vein as the Jim Jones or the Heaven's Gate or any like, I don't think she would because one, she needs the money. I don't think she would make her whole congregation drink the Kool-Aid and pass away. But everything else, manipulating, cheating, lying, berating, yeah, they're all one and the same. And if I offend any Christians out there, I'm sorry, baby, but you're in the cult. It's just reality. Just it is what it is. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Because no pastor needs multi-millions of dollars. Facts. All in the name of money, cost. I mean, Jesus. That knows a fool. Help the people instead of taking from them and enriching themselves. Facts. Facts. I don't think, like I said, if you can't call every religion, every church, every congregation a cult, then you can't call hers one. I'm sorry. Now, is she wrong for everything she did? Hell yeah. She's an evil, evil person. But that's just Christianity for you. That's just Pentecostal for you. That's just the name of the game. It is what it is. It is what it is. But that's all I got for y'all this week. That's all I have for y'all this week. BET Awards was amazing. This documentary was very entertaining, but I think over sensationalized, but very entertaining. It's crazy. Go watch it. And Tierra Wax album, Wax Museum, was amazing. For me, one of my favorites of the year. So that's all I got for y'all. Next week I will be reviewing. Hold on. I have it right here in on the backstage. Next week we're back to music. I will be reviewing come on, Evie Mux. There we go. K1's new album and also a single by a new artist called Earth Sign Chels called Daddy Died. Y'all, if you ain't heard that song, go listen to that song. Cause I got some thoughts. So we're back to another music episode next week. And then the week after that, no show, no shenanigans, and no Snakes in My Podcast. I think that's the week of the 13th. There'll be no shenanigans. I think that's the week of the 13th. Yeah, there'll be no shenanigans podcast that Thursday, the week of the 13th. And there's no Snake Cinema podcast that Saturday because me and my family are going on a cruise. I I mean, I will have internet, but y'all know being on the boat in the ocean, it'll be spotty, and I just want to enjoy vacation with my family. So the week of the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, whatever, that week, no shows. This channel will be dead for a week. We're gonna take a little break, but we will be back after that. And when we come back after that, it will be more movies because a lot of stuff has come out. I need to still do disclosure. I need to still do uh uh there's the new Jackass movie, Best and Last. That just came out this weekend, so I'm gonna go watch that. I think I'm gonna go see that tomorrow, in theaters. Cause I'm not, yeah, so far I'm not working tomorrow. And yeah, there are other movies that are coming out in the month of July. I know the Odyssey is coming out the month of July. I think the Odyssey is coming out the weekend that I'm actually on the cruise, so I won't be able to watch that until I get back. But yeah, there's like 4 or 5 movies coming out this month alone that I gotta play catch up and review. So just be on the lookout for that. Until then, OTP podcast tonight with on Royal Caribbean Exotics channel, DJ and Wiz's channel, Wiz Constrictors, his channel. We got sophisticated ignorance. So tap into that. I'm not sure if Father Dunn has a show tomorrow, but if he does, tap into that. Tap into Nikki and Lace on Sunday, as well as FNA show, Serpent Entertainment Show, also on Sunday. So tap into everybody's shows. And if you have a problem with anybody, especially on sophisticated ignorance or on off the plank, that's, if you have an issue with anybody's shows or who they have on a panel or what subjects they talk about, that's a you problem, and just change the channel. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to watch. Hate watching is the dumbest thing you could ever do. You're a psychopath if you hate somebody or hate something, but still put energy in their content and still watch their stuff. You're just a psychopath and you need help. Go see a therapist about that. But anyways, yeah. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. And yeah. Orlando, he co-signed. That song is fire. Yes, please go listen to Daddy Died by Earth Sign Chels. Father. It's okay, Father. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. But anyways, I will see y'all next week. I love y'all. Have a good one. This episode and every episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando, and TJ. Thank y'all for supporting the channel and supporting your boy. And we out. Later.
Every episode, spitting truth, old school jams and the latest youth.